have going on today. We're gonna have tomahawk pork chops, and we're gonna have the sweet potatoes. But the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get to the sweet potatoes first. As you know, I enjoy using these veggie packages. I really could use this right here, put some aluminum foil over, but I choose not. I just enjoy doing it this way. I think it's more original backyard barbecue. So what we'll do, you've seen me slice up zucchini, squash, onions, tomatoes. So this is exactly what I did with these sweet potatoes right here. I sliced them up really good, and cut them up about 1/4 of an inch thick, as you can see. And I washed them pretty good. And what I'm gonna do first, I have right here, I have a honey butter sauce that I'm gonna put on these right here. After I do that, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put some cinnamon on them. Love the smell of cinnamon. Something good about cinnamon. It has some health benefits in them also. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mix them around, make sure all of them touch with a little cinnamon and the butter mixture. After I do that, I'm gonna wrap them all up like we normally do. I can smell the cinnamon coming out of this already. Turn it over, make sure there be no opening. Use the same process I did the first time. After that, we'll just put them on the grill. And the reason I'm gonna put them on the grill before the tomahawk pork chops, believe it or not, this is gonna take a little bit longer to cook than these pork chops. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna grill them, not smoke them. So therefore, it really won't take that long to do these tomahawk pork chops. So what I'll do now, I'll just place it over the heat, and I'm gonna smoke them. As you can see, I'm using hickory wood for this right here. I'm gonna use hickory wood. While I'm speaking of wood, I got a different treat for you. And what I'm gonna do this time, when it comes to those pork chops, use what you call hickory nuts. These right here, they come from a hickory tree. And as you can see, they have the cover over these right here. And you can see they're very woody, and they present a really good flavor to your meat. Now, where I saw this at long time ago when I was little boys, I used to see a lot of old men, when they was grilling, they used to toss these hickory nuts onto the fire. And I just one day decided to try that. And that was years ago when I was very young. And I tried it, and trust me, it presents a magnificent taste. I had a partner that went home in Alabama, and he bought me a bag full of hickory nuts. And he knew I've been wanting some for the longest, so he found a guy that had some. So I'm gonna be using this periodically once I'm doing different types of meats or whatever. This is a bag of hickory nuts right here. So once this fire is lit the way I want it lit, then I'm going to toss the hickory nuts on this right here, and that's the way we'll do that piece. Now, if you were to find some hickory nuts and you find that this portion of it is green, that means they're not right. Leave it alone. Now, so therefore, with they're like this right here, I can toss them in because they're dry, they're not green or anything, and now we can work with that. And we definitely can work with it here. Now, inside of these hickory nuts, now these things are darn near almost impossible to crack. I remember when I was a little boy, what we used to do, we used to put it on a hard surface and get a little brick and knock it out. Inside of it, what we used to call meat. It's somewhat similar to a pecan, and we used to use a pen in order to get the meat out and eat it. But it was very good meat coming out of these things right here. But just like I say, you have a time cracking this. Sometime later in this, what we're doing now, I'm gonna get a chance and I'm gonna crack one of these nuts for you. But in the meantime, we'll get back with you. These are our tomahawk pork chops. These pork chops are rib chops, where the bone, as you can see, is left at a longer length and the bone is French. And what we mean by that, it means that the meat and fat is trimmed from the bone and that it is clean. You can see exactly what I'm talking about. Where the meat is trimmed from the bone, and it makes it clean, and the fat, it makes it clean. What I want to do, we're about to put these on. What I want to show you now, what I was speaking of, about these hickory nuts. One thing about these hickory nuts, they come, of course, from a hickory tree, but the inside of it, the meat part of it, it tastes just like pecan. It gives you that pecan flavor. So I don't have a nut cracker, so I'm gonna do it like we used to do it back in the day. But just like I said, we either did it with a brick or a hammer. I'm gonna try to do this right here without in my hand. That's basically what it looked like. This white part inside of this, that's what we used to eat. We used to take any type of sharp object out this right here. We had little needles and stuff, and the way we used to get the meat out, we used to pick it out. We used to pick the meat out, just like that right here. So that's the thing that we do with our hickory nuts. So what we're gonna do now, we're getting ready to put the tomahawk pork chops on here. And if you don't have one of these right here, this is a good thing that you can have to stir your pork chops around. Well, stir your charcoals around. Really good without using the stick or whatever. This is something good to have. Now what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna get the hickory nuts. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just scatter these right here over the fire. Don't need a whole bunch of them, just about a handful or two, and just let them do that thing. Right on. Just like I say, we're gonna grill these right here, and we're gonna constantly turn these things. They don't take very long to cook. Also, I failed to mention to you all, I marinated these tomahawk pork chops overnight, and I marinated them in an Asian marinade. And that marinade, it consists of a half cup of soy sauce, half cup of rice vinegar, 2 tablespoons of sesame oil, 2 tablespoons of honey, and 2 tablespoons of lemon pepper. That's the mixture we use, and I made some more, whereas periodically what we'll do, we'll be basting these pork chops as they go. And one thing I can say about these kind of pork chops, I've never, ever, I'm quite sure some places have, I've never seen these in a regular grocery store. A lot of times you're gonna have to go to a butcher market or a place like my favorite, Fresh Market, and you'll be able to pick this type of pork chop up. They're relatively more expensive than just a regular pork chops. I would say each one of these run you probably about $9 a piece. That's basically what I paid for, about $9 a piece. But they're well worth it. They're well worth it, trust me. And if you've seen these before, they have a ribeye steak that's made the same way this is right here, the same way that this tomahawk pork chop. A lot of people call them cowboy pork chops, but they had it listed at tomahawk pork chops at the Fresh Market. Make one quick turn, so it's looking pretty good. So you little grill marks in it. So what I'm gonna do at this time, I'm gonna let them sit for a minute, then I'm gonna come back to them probably in about 10 minutes. As you can see, they're coming along pretty good. You just put a little of this basting on it right quickly. As there's smoke, there's fire. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna flip them right quickly. Good and charred. What I'm gonna do right quickly, stand it up right quick so you can get that fat in a little bit. Hold it over here for a few seconds. As a matter of fact, I can do it like this. Check the temp on these right quickly, see what we got. Not quite there yet. Sweet potatoes, looking good. We'll taste one of these things. Put a little bit of this, a little bit more of this honey glaze on it. But these are extremely good, extremely good. We got a few of them not quite there yet. So a good thing to have 2 grills. Wait till the flare go down. And what I could do, use a little of this. What I'm gonna do now with these, I'm gonna place these in the pan for a minute. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pull charcoal to one side. Put it to one side, and then what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add some more of these hickory nuts. I'm finna go for the little smoky flavor now. Put some in there earlier. Most of those are somewhat burnt down. So what I do now, put the grill, put it back on here, let it settle for a minute. Now what we do, now we're getting ready to get our sweet potatoes off. Smell the cinnamon flavor. Got nice and tender there. It's a good time to get them off while the pork chops are resting. What I do now, I just pour this flavor over these right here. So what we'll do now, we'll just take a piece off, slice it up, what we're working with. So that knife just slide through it, no hesitation. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna give it the taste test. Tender, extremely delicious. As a matter of fact, this is probably about my second time trying these pork chops, and they've always been tender. I guess it's due to the cut, or maybe because of the marinade. Benji, I'm gonna eat this bone right here, but look at my dog looking at it and licking his tongue out as though he wants some of it. Why are you licking your tongue out? We have to wait till it cool off. These candy yams. Good. Okay. This right here concludes our addition with the Tomahawk pork chop. Don't forget to subscribe, also like,